Yes, mate, how's it going? My name's Lee. Welcome back to the channel. I've got an updated draft for you. I've tinkered about over a couple of things. We're going to see where we go with it. Watch the video, see who I've selected and the reasons why. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, all that jazz. Anyway, let's rock and roll. Be strong. Right, mates, first up we've got Onana. So since the last time I made the video, Onana has since been added into the game. He's been valued at 5 million and owned by about 16% of the game so far. We've got a couple of decent fixtures in the first five. Wolves at home, Forest at home, a couple of tough games mixed in there as well. And as I work through the video, you'll see the fixture difficulty rating is specifically tailored to that player. Green means a good fixture for them. Yellow is a potential good game, potentially bad game. Red is a bad game. And I'll kind of explain that as I kind of work through the video. Onana's looked very, very good in his short amount of preseason minutes. He looks very expansive, not afraid to kind of speak his mind. I've seen him go absolutely mental at Maguire for his misplaced pass. He looks like a real character, like a real kind of Schmeichel-esque kind of strong character, strong-minded goalkeeper. And I think we'll play really well with him. Like, I think he'll fit perfectly within the Premier League. And I think he instantly becomes one of the best keepers in the Premier League. I think you have to back the stats from last season. We kept the most clean sheets in the league. I don't see that why that won't continue. We've got a better goalkeeper, in my opinion. We've still got that strong, solid defence, and we've added elsewhere in the team as well. I think he's a great addition. I can see why people have got him. I can see why people want him or need him, and for me, like, he's the best defensive Man United asset. Next up, we've got Trent, and he's just so vital to me. Like he's definitely someone that I want in my team. Like, unless things change, he's in my team for sure. He's not playing in the exact position I want him to in pre-season, but I think as the season gets closer and it starts to develop, I think he will become a right back that moves into midfield as opposed to anything else. He's got decent fixtures. He's got a tough game in the first one up against Chelsea, but he has been known to score a cheeky free kick against Chelsea, so you never know with that. And the thing is with Trent, you're not always banking on those clean sheets. You're banking on those attacking returns. Even if Liverpool don't keep any clean sheets in the first five, I still think he'll get some attacking returns, whether it's clean sheet, assist or a goal or something like that. But he's got two really nice games within there, within Bournemouth and Wolves. I can see why you don't want to go for Trent and you can attack the other fixtures. Because if you go for someone like a 5 million defender, you've got another 3 million to play around with. I can see the benefits of not having Trent. But for me, I still like him right now, and I don't know why you wouldn't have him. Moving on to Estepinian. Brighton got really, really good first 3 games, a couple tough games after that, but we can start thinking about moving them on after game week 3. I see a lot of people going for players like Chilwell and other kind of players like around that £5.5 million bracket, and for me it's just too much of a risk. I'd rather start with an Estupiñán, keep 0.5 in the bank, which I've got, see how the first kind of couple games go, then potentially move that on to someone like a Chilwell or a Colwill, like if it looks like he's going to be starting a lot. Really attacking is absolutely massively owned at 50.9% of managers so far. Just a really, really great asset, and I don't see why that won't continue. I think there's a lot of issues with Brighton in attack, but that doesn't seem to be affecting too much in the defence. I know Lewis Dunk hasn't had a lot of minutes so far, but I think as the season starts, they will have a settled back line, and Estupiñán and Dunk will be a part of that. Ruben Diaz. I see a lot of people going for John Stones, and people forget he only played something like 23 league games last season. Like, I think it's a bit of a risk, and I know people keep saying he's the only one who can do it in the team, but he's not. Like, we've seen other players move into that midfield role. Rico Lewis can do it from right back. We've had some left backs moving from there, whether it's Cancelo. Like, Cancelo did play in pre-season. I don't expect him to have any part of the City team, but there's just so much risk there with John Stones. I think Ruben Diaz is a lot more nailed. He had some injury issues last season. That's the reason why he didn't play as much. But if he's fit, he starts. If you do want a more solid, guaranteed, nailed on Man City defender, go for Ederson, mate. Like, I don't have an issue with people going for Ederson. It's tough to get more than one Man City player in your team. So if you can maybe double up and go for like an Ederson, I don't mind it at all. They've got really, really good games. Their first 8 or 9 are really, really nice. Even the Newcastle at home, I think Man City at home are so strong that it doesn't concern me too much, really. He's a lot less owned than John Stones at 6.9%. And he does offer aerial threat in the opposition's box. I don't think he'll be involved in the goals as much as John Stones will anyway, especially if he moves into the midfield. But John Stones won't be involved in the bonus as much as Diaz will. And like Diaz is going to hit 80, 90 passes every single game, and John Stones, from the stats back end of last season, struggled to hit anywhere near that. I like him as a mini differential compared to John Stones, but I can see why people are going for him. But for me, I'm picking Diaz, mate. And just like the Ruben Diaz, John Stones debate, I've done the exact same with Saliba and Gabriel. I can see the appeal of Gabriel. People think he's got a better goal threat than Saliba. But people forget Saliba started the season very well last season, and he did get the odd goal every now and again. He was out of large parts of the season due to injury. I think he's a guaranteed starter. He's a really, really good player. They've got really nice fixtures. They have the second best fixtures behind Man City. Forest, Palace, Fulham, Everton in the first 5. I expect them to do very well. I expect them to keep clean sheets and score goals. And if Saliba can chip in with maybe 1 or 2, I'm all about that. Owned by 14.8% of the game so far. And I think it's been semi-overlooked. I get the, same as most players in the game, I get the appeal of Gabriel. But I feel this is where I can maybe go against the template ever so slightly and not be as hurt if things don't go my way. Sir Marcus himself, just say, how sick is that picture, by the way, mate? That kit is sexy, mate. Can't wait to get it. He's going right on the back of it. Yeah, mate, love him. He's in my team. I see people going for Bruno, and it's like I keep saying, mate, it's one of those. I can see the appeal of Bruno, and if I could fit Bruno into the team, I'd get him. But if I can only have one Man United attacker, it's going to be Rashford. He's just so explosive, so attacking. And like, look at his expected points underneath the fixtures there. 6.5, 5.6, 6, 5, 6. He's just consistent all the way through. He's going to score goals. He's going to be involved in the goals. We've got really good games. Like you can see, in my opinion, most games for Rashford are still a good game. Like he scored against Arsenal, he scored against Liverpool last season. I expect him to continue doing that. Like he's almost fixture proof in that way. And I think every game for Rashford is a potential opportunity for him to score. I think that'll continue, especially now. I think he will be playing left wing. I think he might move to up front every now and again. But now we've signed Højlund. I think Højlund will be the number 9. Maybe not in the initial period of the season, but as the season progresses, it will be the main number 9, Rashford on the left. But we might get a bit of both, especially early on in the season, of him playing left wing and up front. So best of both worlds. What a player. Karu Matoma. Tough one, really, really tough one. I've seen a couple Brighton pre-season games now, and their lineups are just all over the place. Really tough to predict. I watched the Above Average podcast the other day, and I think Baker said something along the lines of, would it surprise you if they had a front line of João Pedro, Welbeck, Lallana, and Solly March? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if Matoma does miss out. But those first 3 or 4 games, I've even put Newcastle as a green fixture for Matoma up against a slow Kieran Trippier. I think he can run him ragged, and he's just such a good player, mate. Like, he's class. Like, if he's starting and he's playing, he's so dangerous, he's so attacking, he's so direct that he causes any team issues. Like, my only concern is pre-season's been a bit of a hit and miss. His form towards the back end of the season wasn't great. I think he only had maybe 2 or 3 returns in the last 10 games, so there is some concern there, but he's owned by a large amount of the game. He is template. If I didn't go for him, I'd be looking at someone like Eneze, who seems like a step down, and maybe like a Moussa Diaby from just signed for Villa, or something along those lines of the 6.5 million bracket players. But I like him, really, really like him. I think he's a top player, and for me right now, he's in my team, and I don't see that changing unless anything else comes out that says he's not going to be starting game week 1. Martinelli, what a player, mate. When we played them in the friendly, he looked very bright, he looked very sharp, very electric. Him and Smith Rowe were the only players for Arsenal who actually looked any good, in my opinion. They still looked a bit kind of sluggish, but I think we're a bit ahead in pre-season. Same as Saliba, really, really good games. He's just such a good player. Forest, Palace, Fulham. The reason why I've put Man United as a potentially tough game for Martinelli is if we play Wan-Bissaka right back, he just shuts everybody down. And if Wan-Bissaka does play, I think he just will shut Martinelli down personally. So that's the only kind of thing that I see there that might impact Martinelli's minutes in that Man United fixture. But like we saw with Rashford, he's expected to get about an average of 5 points a game. And I'll take that, mate. Like, I'll take it. Like, he's just such a good player. They've got a lot of rotation up front, like a lot of fluidity up front. People think he's a minutes risk. I don't think it's as bad as that. I think he is clearly first choice, especially when they did buy Trossard. Martinelli started something like the last 12 games of the season or something like that. Like, most games he was fit for, he played. My only concern with that is Trossard has had a couple good games in pre-season, but I don't see him taking Martinelli's minutes. There has been talk that he might play the number 8 in a kind of Xhaka kind of style role, and Havertz kind of rotates with that number 8 and the number 9 position. That's kind of remains to be seen, and I'm only going off the information that I know now. And right now, I think Martinelli is Arsenal's most direct and best attacking asset bar Saka, and I just don't know why you want to have him. I see people going for Jesus. If I want any 8 million asset from Arsenal, it's Martinelli all day long. I just don't see the appeal of Jesus at all, mate. Which brings me on to the star boy himself, Saka. And you can see there the Man United fixture. It was yellow for Martinelli, it's green for Saka. He ran Shaw ragged last season, mate. He absolutely ruined him. Like the goal where he's on the right wing, Shaw didn't know whether to go tight, to back off, to show him inside, outside. Saka shows him outside, comes back inside, smashes it from about 30 yards out. Really, really good goal. And I think he'll cause Shaw issues once again. Still on penalties. Another one of those kind of Rashford-style players. I think he's fixture-proof, almost talismanic for Arsenal. I think he'll continue that form on. And I think he's just going to have a really, really good season. I think he's going to have another 200-point season. And he's probably going to be a mainstay for me for the majority of this season, especially if he keeps fit. What a player. Why haven't you got it, mate? Stick him in. What a player, man. So the first on my forward line, Ollie Watkins. I see a lot of people going for Jesus as the £8 million forward. I just don't see it, mate. I would much rather have Martinelli in midfield and have someone like an Ollie Watkins up front. He's another one of those fixture-proof players on penalties, talismanic for Aston Villa. People think that game week 1 fixture is tough against Newcastle. He scored in the friendly the other day against Newcastle and they battered him, and the season just gone. They battered him 3-0 and Ollie Watkins absolutely destroyed them. I see that continue once again. They've got 4 really good fixtures in the first 5. And he's got a decent record against most teams in the league, so I think that will continue. People worried about his form. Mate, I'm not worried. You stick to Jesus, I'm going Watkins, and we'll see who wins after 5 games, won't we? Last but not least, easy pick, mate. Like, you've seen the expected points of every single other player, and then look at Haaland. Everyone else is 5 or 6. Haaland is 8 or 9. He's just an absolute machine. Easy captain pick for the first 5 or 6 games. That's the reason why I've not got Salah so far. He's just not a consideration for captaincy at all for me so far. And if that's not the case, then what's the point in spending so much money on one player? This way I can spread the funds around, get all the players that I want, be more flexible in my plays and my formations, and be able to hit most kind of players within the league. Probably bar Salah or Kane, which I don't mind. Like, I don't mind avoiding those. What a player, mate. Absolute machine. Easy captain pick. Alright, mates, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. So today went through my updated draft for game week 1. I've changed a couple of players around. What do you think about my team? I've gone for some differentials where I can. I've tried to go against the template where I can. But you don't want to stray too far away from that because you will get punished. The stats do not lie. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell your mum, tell your dog, tell your postman. Anyway, have a good day. Peace and love.